Alexis. Welcome to our practice. Before we begin, I want to go over some important information about our services. Everything we discuss here is confidential, which means I won't share your information with anyone unless there's a risk of harm to yourself or to others, or in cases of abuse that I'm legally required to report. Do you have any questions about confidentiality?
No, that makes sense.
Awesome, great. I'd like to understand what brings you here today. Could you tell me a little bit more about what made you decide to seek support?
Well, I've been feeling really overwhelmed with work and with family stuff.
I hear how challenging it's been managing both work and family responsibilities. Could you help me understand what overwhelmed feels like for you?
For me, I just can't seem to keep up with everything. I'm constantly tired and irritable.
Despite these challenges, you've taken an important step by reaching out for support, which shows real strength and self awareness. Let me make sure I understand. You're dealing with pressure from both work and family obligations, which is leaving you exhausted and affecting your mood. Is that accurate?
Yes, exactly.
What would you like to see change in your life through our work together?
I guess I'd like to find better ways to manage my stress and have more energy for both work and my family.
Those are great goals. Managing stress and energy levels can make a big difference in both professional and personal life. Could you tell me about any strategies you've tried so far to handle these challenges?
Well, I've tried exercising when I can, but it's hard to find the time. Sometimes I try to meditate before bed, but I usually fall asleep.
I'm impressed that you've already been proactive in trying different approaches. It shows you're committed to making positive changes. Let's work together to build on these efforts and explore additional strategies that might fit better with your schedule and needs. How does that sound?
That would be really helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate you being so open about working together on this. To help us create a more specific plan, could you walk me through what a typical day would look like for you? This would really help me understand where we might find opportunities for stress management, things of that nature.
Well, I usually wake up around 6 a.m., get the kids ready for school, rush to work by 8, and then it's nonstop meetings until 5. By the time I get home and help with homework, make dinner, and get everyone to bed, I'm exhausted. I barely have any time for myself.
Thank you for sharing that detailed picture of your day. It sounds like you're managing multiple demanding roles from the moment you wake up until late in the evening. I noticed you mentioned not having time for yourself and self care. How do you think that's impacting your overall well being?
I guess I'm starting to feel burned out. I love my family and my job, but sometimes it feels like I'm going through the motions without really being present in either place.
That's a really insightful observation about not fully feeling present. Would you be interested in exploring ways to create small pockets of time for self care while working within your current schedule? Even brief moments of intentional self care can make all the difference.
Yes, I would like that. I just don't know where to start.
Perfect. Well, let's just start small. Looking at your daily schedule, I notice you have a busy morning routine. What if we explored ways to build in just 5 minutes of mindfulness or breathing exercises while getting ready? Sometimes starting with tiny changes can make a meaningful difference.
I suppose I could try. Maybe while waiting for my coffee to brew.
That's an excellent suggestion. I appreciate how you're already thinking of practical ways to integrate this into your routine. Those few minutes while the coffee brews could become your dedicated moment of self care. What kind of support would be most helpful as you establish this new habit?
I think I need some guidance on what exactly to do during those few minutes. I don't want to waste the time just standing there.
Yeah, I totally understand that. That's a very practical concern. Would you be interested in learning some simple breathing techniques or grounding exercises that you could practice during that time? These are tools you could use not only during your morning routine, but also during stressful moments throughout your day.
Yes, I would really appreciate learning some techniques that I could use during those moments.
Excellent. One simple technique we could start with is called 4-7-8 breathing. While your coffee is brewing, you breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 7, and then you exhale for 8 counts. Would you like to try it now so that I can guide you through it?
Sure, I'm willing to give it a try.
Great. Let's go ahead and sit comfortably. I'll guide you through it. Take a deep breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and exhale slowly through your mouth for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How did that feel?
That was actually really calming. I could see myself doing this in the morning.
Awesome. I'm glad you found it helpful. Remember, this is just one tool that we can explore as we continue working together. We can discover other strategies that may resonate with you. What other aspects of your daily routine would you like to discuss?
I also struggle with getting enough sleep at night. Sometimes I lie awake worrying about everything I need to do the next day.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Sleep difficulties can compound the stress you're already experiencing. Since you mentioned worrying at night, could you tell me a little bit more about what typically goes through your mind during those moments?
Usually, it's my to-do list for the next day, or things I didn't get done today. Sometimes I worry about my kids, or even work deadlines.
Okay. I noticed that these worries are centered around responsibilities and caring for others. What if we explored some ways to process these thoughts before bedtime? Some people find it helpful to do a brain dump, writing down tomorrow's tasks so that they don't have to keep them in their mind. How do you think something like this might work for you?
That actually sounds like it could help. I do tend to feel better when I write things down.
That's great that you've noticed writing helps you feel better. Would you like to work together to develop a brief evening routine that would combine some of what we've discussed, that 4-7-8 breathing, and maybe incorporate some short journaling practices?
That sounds really helpful. I think having a routine like that could make a difference.
Awesome. I'm glad we found some concrete strategies to start with. Before we wrap up, I do want to summarize what we've discussed today. You're experiencing stress from managing multiple responsibilities at work and home, which is affecting your energy levels as well as your sleep. We've identified 2 initial steps, practicing that 4-7-8 breathing technique that we just demonstrated during your morning coffee routine, and creating an evening wind down practice that includes journaling. How does this plan sound to you?
It sounds good. I feel like I have specific things to work on.
Excellent. For our next session, we can discuss how these strategies are working for you and explore additional tools if needed. I want to confirm our next appointment time and ask if you have any questions before we end today.
No questions right now. I'm looking forward to trying these techniques.
Awesome. One last thing. Would you be comfortable keeping a brief log of when you use these techniques and how they affect you? This could help us track what's working best and what's not working.
Yes, I can do that. Should I make notes on my phone?
That's perfect. Whatever method is most convenient for you, great. Remember, change takes time, so be patient with yourself as you implement these new practices. I'll see you at our next session. Take care.